Victor Zammit, retired Supreme Court lawyer, with a science degree and proponent of afterlife evidence and the paranormal, presents a significant conclusion. Winston Wu is operator of the superb website debunkingskeptics.com. He catalogues the numerous intellectual errors made by so-called skeptics. Victor Zammit here explains. Commentary on evidence, critical principle identified. Winston Wu and I have come to a very important conclusion. Independently, we have realized that there is a class of people who do not have the competence, the skills, and the ability to examine evidence which is fundamentally contrary to their own deeply negative prejudices. The irony is that some of these people claim to be using scientific method and to be champions of critical thinking. I stated this before, but because of its huge importance it is worth commenting on it again. People in the past asked me why is it that some scientists still do not accept the evidence for the paranormal and the afterlife. While it is true that more and more intelligent rational people, including many who are scientifically trained, are being convinced by the evidence, and by their own direct experiences, the refusal by others to even examine the evidence is a mystery to many. This also extends to areas of healing and alternative medicine, including homeopathy. It seems that there is a class of people who are so deeply entrenched in the materialist worldview that no matter how clear, how objective and how repeatable the evidence is, they just cannot perceive anything that conflicts with what is hardwired into their existing belief system, with true scientific balance. However, we can see from studies of societal change that as the majority of the population comes to accept the afterlife and the paranormal, this small group will fall into line with the new majority. As an example of change quietly taking place, we have this little surprise on homeopathy, a book just released, Homeopathy, Good Science, How New Science Validates Homeopathy, by Peter Adams, 2010. Here's the book. Because traditional science cannot understand how homeopathy works, it assumes wrongly that it does not work. In February 1991, the British Medical Journal conceded the amount of positive evidence for homeopathy came as a surprise to us. Based on this evidence, we would be ready to accept that homeopathy can be efficacious if only the mechanism of action were more plausible. But uneducated skeptics refuse even to look at the evidence that it works with both people and animals. Dr. Parimal Bonaire, he has a database of 14 million patients with an incredible cure rate. Two recent books set out the evidence that homeopathy does work in some detail. Dana Ullman's comprehensive review of the 200-plus clinical studies in homeopathy in her book, Homeopathic Family Medicine, Evidence-Based Homeopathy, and Homeopathy, Good Science, How New Science Validates Homeopathy. So don't worry, skeptics, the rest of society, those able-minded people, can handle the surprising homeopathy innovation. You just keep baying at the back as the rest of society advances.